Hello, everybody, and welcome to the War Room. This is for the co-main event for this weekend, UFC 247, Valentina Shevchenko defending a belt against Katlyn Chookagian. Tough fight for Katlyn Chookagian. There are some ways to win. There are some advantages that she has, but it's the same as the main event. The obstacle that they have to overcome to get the belt off the champion is sizable. Katlyn Chookagian, she's got the height and reach advantage, experience disadvantage though. But she has a lot of fights that have gone the distance. I think 10 of her 13 fights have gone the distance. So fighting over the distance is not a problem. I don't think she's going to fade into the championship rounds. I've never seen her slow down. She always keeps a good pace. She's always very lively, always throwing lots of different combinations. So, thinking back to the Coldwood fight, she was throwing chains of combinations. So the first few might miss, but something would land. I've just got UFC stats pulled up in front of me as well, and the stats say the same thing. So her strike rate is higher than Shevchenko's, but her striking accuracy is lower, and the strikes she absorbs per minute is higher as well. So basically, that tells me that Shevchenko is the more accurate, the more precise fighter that doesn't throw as much to set shots up. The thing that Valentina Shevchenko is so good about is decision making. That I keep going back to this, and I talk about it in the Inside the Octagon Extra for the main event as well, which will be out soon. You've got two options in an MMA fight, as the way I see it, and this is something I'm kind of mulling over in my head now, trying to understand myself. But it seems like chaos is a given. Chaos is always there, so you can either control it or you ride it. And there are a lot of fighters, particularly the young fighters that are athletic and fast and enthusiastic. They ride that chaos because they can just go with the fight and just make it work. Dominic Reyes in the main event being one of them. The other side of the fighter are the ones that control the chaos, the ones that are able to manage the distance and the range, manage the pace of the fight, make their opponent move in directions that they're not necessarily thinking about themselves. There are levels. It's like games within games is a phrase that I like. There are levels to this shit. There really are. Like, when you start to understand how you can manipulate somebody's movement, then it opens up a whole new selection of techniques and things that you can use. And that's what Valentina Shevchenko does so well. It's like you don't just watch highlights of her fights. You kind of have to watch the whole thing to really appreciate what she does, because she shuts people down with like a consistent pace. She's very accurate, very precise. She's very economical as well. She's not wasting any energy, but in every range, she's highly technical and she's very polished. Like, her striking's crisp and precise. She's got excellent kicks. Her movement complements all of her striking. Her pace doesn't slow down over 25 minutes. When she clinches up, she has excellent throws. She has excellent balance. She's got good ground and pound. She really is talented everywhere. That's the thing that we've got to say about Valentina. That's why the obstacle that Katlyn's got to overcome is so high. So if we're talking about how Katlyn wins the fight, she's got to take the fight to the champion. She can't let Valentina Shevchenko set the pace. Same as the main event. This might as well be the war room for both, to be honest. It's kind of a similar game plan for both challengers. Like, they can't allow the champion to dictate the pace. She can't allow Valentina Shevchenko to be Valentina Shevchenko, just like Reyes can't allow Jones to be Jones. You've got to disrupt their pace. It takes courage to do this, especially when someone's such a sharp striker. But you've got to keep a pace on them. You've got to kind of make it a bit more scrappy. She is the bigger fighter, taller, longer reach, 2 inches reach, 4 inches in height. So if she can get that title, and she will be able to bear down, and she has got good knees. Like I said, the chain-in strikes together as well will allow her to maybe not be pushed around in the octagon quite as much, and it'll heighten the possibility of her landing something, because she's throwing a few different things for Shevchenko to think about before she's getting caught with a shot. It's often the third, fourth, fifth shot you get caught with in a combination. The other thing as well, she's a brown belt under Renzo Gracie. And I do imagine that at some point this fight will end up on the ground. Her takedown offense is very low. It's incredibly low. Takedown defense 56%. That's not too bad. Takedown accuracy is 0. But then again, I can't think to a time when she's been taking people down. She's far more comfortable fighting off her back. She's very good at tying people up, attacking arms, climbing up the legs and locking the shoulders. So if Valentina finds herself in her guard at any point, that's, I think, where she's at most danger, because I mean, she's not going to stop trying to throw submissions up. She's very active. Like I said, her pace doesn't decrease. So, you know, I mean, the work should be done by now, but the conditioning should be done so she can push her pace over 25 minutes. You know, don't allow Valentina to settle into her rhythm and start dictating the pace of the fight. And, you know, if she finds herself in a clinch, don't be too worried about going to your back, because I think her best opportunities for submissions are probably off her back, climbing up, catching arms, triangles, and that kind of thing. But even so, still, it's going to be very, very difficult. So anyway, enjoy the fights. See you next time.